Let me tell you, all that Elon Musk did Friday, I mean, it truly can be explained in one clip. All that Elon Musk did was this.
What you do at Initech is you take the specifications from the customers and you bring them down to the software engineers.
Yes, that's right.
Well, then I just have to ask, why couldn't the customers just take them directly to the software people, huh?
All right.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because engineers are not good at dealing with customers.
Oh.
So you physically take the specs from the customer?
Well, no, my secretary does that, or the fax.
Or the facts.
So then you must physically bring them to the software people.
Well, no.
No.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look.
All right, and so you have to cut it off there
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say.
I remember we got caught one time. You got to cut it off because then he demonstrates what a people person he is. By, well, I already told you. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of cursing going on. What would you say you do here? Now, I hated it. When I was in management, believe it or not, they allowed me in management for a period of time. I know these were dark times in the Cumulus Media family. But I was a program director for about 6 years in Birmingham, Alabama. And one of the joys of coming to Nashville was not only to experience Nashville and Tennessee, and I have loved every single moment of it, was to meet you and to get to know you, and I've loved every single moment of that, but also to be out of management. Because, I mean, it was a great joy to be a part of that, because it was a great joy to help people grow in their jobs. I loved dealing with the people that worked at Talk 99.5 in Birmingham. I loved every single person locally. I did not care for what we had to do otherwise. And I understand it. I get it. I know that the people above me need to know the work product that exists. But every week, I think Dan Mandis told this story this morning too, for during his days as program director. Every week, we had to fill out a weekly summary to send to our bosses. I had to send it to my senior vice president of programming. I had to send it to my vice president of programming talk. I had to send it to my immediate supervisor, my operations manager, and my general manager. And I think there was one other person that it went to. Anyway, these were the types of questions. As my memory serves me, these are the types of questions. Name 3 things, and this was every week, and you were expected to answer these sincerely. Name 3 things that keep you up at night. It was an actual question that they wanted to answer. I mean, and I'm not knocking our company. I promise you I'm not. God bless you. I know what this was designed to do. I get it. It's designed to press me to think about what the challenges are that we face that I might not normally think about. It was designed to force me to answer the question, and in forcing me to answer the question, it forced me to think about aspects of, our challenges, our concerns, our competition that I normally wouldn't think about. So I get what they're doing. It did not make it any less annoying to do it. But you know what I did? I did it because it was a part of my job. What is the greatest competitive challenge you face in market this week? That was another one. Every week. Describe the biggest highlight of the week and why it strikes you that way.
Did you always answer doing this survey?
I wanted to every week. I wanted to tell you, you're dead on. Ladies and gentlemen, every week, I know I say the same thing because every week it's true. The highlight of my week is sitting down at my computer and spending no less than 30 minutes of my time coming up with Bravo Sierra answers to these questions.
Did you look back at past ones and say,
Absolutely. I wrote
a little bit from this one, a little bit from that one?
I rotated them. Oh, no, I didn't look back. I copied and pasted. But if you copy and paste from last week, you get caught.
Exactly.
So you got to go. You got to move things around. You got to.
Oh yeah, I've played that game.
You got to play the game. You got to know. I mean, and my job is to fool the player, not to change the game. But you know what I did? You know what we do? We do it. Now, we might not like it. We might think it's foolish, but we do it. I believe that this 5 things question is designed to see who's in it to win it and who's not. Who's willing to at least play the game and who's trying to change the game, or who's not in for the game, who's not in for the long haul. If you can't manage to play the game, then maybe you shouldn't be in the game at all. Now, there's a development because government is a different world, and I understand that. And I don't want to come off as knocking federal workers. I really don't. But as a rule, federal workers believe that they are different than you if you don't work in the federal workforce. State workers, not so much, but there's a little bit of that going on too. Are y'all with me on that? I don't mean to come off hard-hearted, and it's not personal. It's just an observation. I am observing that federal employees come off as a bit entitled. Not even a bit entitled. They come off as entitled to the average private sector worker. Because if my boss asked me, hey, what 5 things did you do last week? And they were serious, I would come up with 5 things. Well, I did 5 radio shows. I did Monday, I did Tuesday, I did Wednesday, I did Thursday, and I did Friday. That would be my first answer. And if their expression changed to a smile or a laugh, I would think, oh, I got him. We're all good. If they continue to look stern or jerkish, then I would go on to plan B, which is to answer the question a little more seriously. Federal workers, according to a news story out of the New York Post, this broke about 10 minutes ago, federal workers don't have to answer Elon Musk's prompted emails outlining what they did in their job last week, despite the Department of Government Efficiency figure's announcement that failure to do so would amount to resignation. Officials at the Office of Personnel Management, or OPM, have notified human resource bosses across multiple agencies that responses to the emails, which were due at 11:59 tonight, Eastern Time, 10:59 Middle Tennessee Time, were voluntary, according to a source familiar with the situation. OPM also instructed multiple HR departments that failure to reply to the email did not mean automatic termination, despite the warning to the contrary. Government agencies and departments had already instructed their employees not to reply to the email, including organized departments like the FBI, Kash Patel's deal. The email said, what did you do last week? Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachment. Deadline is this Monday at 11:59 Eastern Time. And I think it went on to say, failure to reply to this email will be considered your resignation, or something along those lines. But now the Office of Personnel Management says, we didn't really mean it. It still accomplishes the same goal.